Even Lazarus would be surprised to see me still chasing Calliope's brassy praise song calves, somersaulting through the air in golden church bells, still walking my needs, my obedient emptiness, which should rattle with corpses now, yet is damaged, leaking, aching to be filled with something fortified and warm. I didn't want to appear so sensually challenged, a Frankenstein ignorant of all language for human hungers, confusing touch for taste or love for blood or etc. or etc. I've never been so lonely to need so little from a stranger, to be recognized, to be handed a thing gently, a dollar's change palmed back to you as if it were an altricial hatchling. For certain strangers, I am easy kindling and my ashes remain sweet to taste. Just ask the dead about the fallout of my former selves. Ask my hands why they stay so empty and cold. In time's fragile canyon between us, my body echoes in the afterworld of the untouched. I got so lonesome and so tired, I hiked mile-long blocks through glass and steel mountains, passing several identical, uncrowded coffee shops, just to stand in line to briefly see you, worship your non-celebrity, famous in my self-containment only, just to spin my rings around your body's gravitational musk, to admire your fingers' graceful nectar quest, their insect-like choreography for all the change I cannot make, for the rare coins, the hardened denominations that resist being broken down within. Forgetting where most transactions in prayer usually begin, what's wrong with me, and remain unanswered in my daily hollowness beneath this mirroring sky that never stops falling. How it came to pass you looked up, genuinely surprised that any word strung between us was worth keeping, even as it suggested promise was not. A promise the same weight as the gossip and dirty limericks 8th grade boys salt each other with in clubhouse patois. My aged name failed to root on your tongue's biological culture as carbon atoms float in dust clouds from the rebirth of stars. Thus my desire for anything reaches across to you unanchored, unanswered. I want to hold as hard as anyone dare hold a sun, bite into the brassy spark igniting the chasm between us, and plunge my nostrils into your black lotus blossom afro with the slam dance of a bee in a ball house of pollen. The drizzle of lint and fabric sprinkled in dewy crumbs and onions in the misting corners of your eyes, lips fresh from the narrating privately screened dreams, secret theaters and small towns that bluster in parody of waking actions, towns that sigh from orange to indigo to magenta and back in twilight darkness, its soundtrack ecstatic chants like a bird's presence in a man's ribcage, bursting forth in rhythms bragging with color, my mouth's greedy with lightning seeds, chassis of wind, sketches of confessionals loud with river voices calling for a sacrifice to be drowned in its skin, your complicated dreamscape heaving light drifts of pewter, carnal moons, morning reflections that approach and admire you first, you steaming warm as fresh bread, oh, to find purchase in the world, any part of the world with you in it naked, raw as a vegetable, electric fibers erect and reaching all sticky and sweaty with soil, your fragrance conflated in promissory crackle and ooze. Since my body discovered chemistry, there remains an electrical failure in my blood where the cells are hungered and illiterate. To go any further, I will have to inquire your expectations of sugar and when and what pushes a simple song to a hymn? What triggers desire to stick? What vein sustains it? What lures anything to burst forth blooming? April's black currant, sagebrush buttercup? Can I drink from you to resize me? Goldenrod, Columbia, crimson columbine? Where can I bite you to understand anything within myself? Camassia lily, bluebird shrub? But I am old and unfortunately stale and reflectively male. On my face, light waves like severed butterfly wings are a mockery of beauty. I'm an unclassified reptile that hungers for prescription truffles in the body of I am drowned and fluttering under your black light of lichen hairs, lightly salted, cinnamon hot, bold and buttery and perfectly foamy and fresh, holding a spring's yield of aggressive colors, calling nature by its myriad names, with my hair snagged in your thorny fingers, your tongue bookmarking my Bible. I break out in Pentecostal devotion, where all the maps of bliss promise to lead us, the shower and scrub of ultraviolet pollinators, the ecstasy of scratching every itch at once, my skin's unfinished spit shine beneath the complex solar halo of your caramel eyes holding me, down captive, captivated, poured, empty and drowned in teasing, tonguing petals, bucking across operatic keyboard of sighs, notes of varying touch. What have you done to me? What have you done through me? What have you done with the amused stillness, this flesh arisen, this silent garden sticky with the future? What solves the riddle of my true name? I eat children down to their spongy rind, tongue tender, sucking salted skin, clean as crayfish, loud and desperate, my mouth dripping emptied bodies, what remains after sucking gunpowder out of red hot shells.